Welcome to the Her Voice Shines podcast, where we celebrate the power, brilliance, and resilience of women everywhere. I'm your host, Shanasia Washington. Join us as we share inspiring stories and insights from extraordinary women who have found their voice and are making a difference. Together, we'll create a ripple effect, illuminating the path to visibility and empowerment. Let's break barriers, shatter ceilings, and lift each other up. In each episode, we dive deep into the journeys of women who have turned their challenges into triumphs and their dreams into reality. Whether you're looking for motivation, guidance, or a community that understands your journey, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and remember, let your voice shine. And just like that, I'm back like I never left. It is your fabulous social Shanasia Washington, streaming from none other than Houston, Texas. And on this particular podcast, I'm acting a little extra because we got a fellow Texas girl in the house, and she's going to come to the stage and do her normal drill. We always ask them their name, where they're streaming from, and then we get the magic of the story. Without any further waiting time, here's this very beautiful guest for today.
It's great to be here. I'm streaming from East Texas, Palestine, Texas, a little bit below Tyler. I'm in my Pilates studio, and I'm the Pilates cowgirl. And that is how my voice shines. And I'm here to inspire you guys to rise and find your inner cowgirl, which means your inner powerhouse. And I've devised an 8-week program that helps you reclaim your inner cowgirl, reclaim your powerhouse through movement, through sound, through color, through frequency, and a little bit of dance in there. I'm a survivor of covert narcissistic abuse, and I've told my story within 8 chapters. And my story is fascinating because I stayed in a relationship that almost erased me completely, and I am on the way back up. And so a part of my therapy and recovery is using my Pilates experience, using yoga, and a few things that I've picked up along the way. I've certified instructors for over 23 years in Pilates at my Houston studio. I've done workshops on body awareness, on breath. And a lot of it is amazing because Pilates is not weight loss. It's reclaiming your central nervous system. And a lot of Pilates nowadays is about just doing fancy things on a reformer. And it's talking about weight loss, but really what it is calming the central nervous system and tapping into the vagus nerve so that you can recover from trauma loops, from being in an abusive relationship. I've learned how to use my own nervous system and Pilates to calm myself and to reprogram the patterns of abuse into something positive. And I know I'm just long-winded here. Should I just keep going?
Look, I told Melody before she came on the stage, I said, Melody, you just got to do it how you do it. And that was a great introduction. And don't worry about it, because what we're going to do now is move more into this resilient story, because what you see, Melody, she said Pilates cowgirl. Is that what she called herself?
Yeah, Pilates cow. Yeehaw.
That's what she called herself. But you know, Melody, I was looking at your information, and I'm proud of the woman I see sitting here today, because I know back in 2020 it was not easy. There was a big reset for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Studio gone, marriage ended, identity shaken. That's a lot of change, and that's a lot of change at one time.
It's a lot of trauma.
A lot of trauma at one time. I like it. Tell me, looking back, like from right now, what was the first step you took towards rebuilding? Because when people have a lot of shaking of the core, they don't even know the thing to do to get to rebuilding. What was the first step you took to rebuild?
I moved. I moved out of Houston, away from the studio to a family farm. And I started teaching classes at the farm. I've had a studio here for years, but I didn't live here permanently. And going through a divorce and going through covert narcissism, you develop trauma loops that you're addicted to and you can't get out of them. So making an actual relocation to the farm, which I got out of the divorce, and he kept the townhouse in Houston. So this was a logical place for me to bring, being a single mom and raising two kids, two teenage boys. I thought being in this community around family would be the most supportive for me to help me survive, literally survive, because in narcissistic abuse, you're erased and you don't have a voice anymore. And it's so psychological that it's hard to explain. And that's why I've written this 8-week workbook that's going to be downloadable. And you identify your patterns through color. I'm going to tell my story, and then we identify the pattern of narcissistic abuse. And that's how I evolved. It's recovering my voice by working, by actually doing what I love to do most, is helping women empower themselves through Pilates. And so Pilates has a really big role in this workbook, and reclaiming my voice and my central to, I don't want to get too technical about the body, but it's so fascinating how the body can heal itself. And we are divinely designed by God. And once you understand how the body works and how you can turn on your inner physician, you're unstoppable, because you can heal yourself. You can heal yourself. You don't need the middleman. And analysis is paralysis. You can only cognitively think for so long about your issues. You actually have to move. You have to move your problems through your body, because trauma is held in the body. But up.
And the interesting thing is, probably very timely for me. It's been about 32 days maybe. Well, typically every year for my birthday, I do like a fast, and it really is to heal me mentally, spiritually, emotionally. It's not just about the food; it's about other things that I do. And 2020 was the year I did that for 6 entire months. I was a different person. They did not even really recognize me physically, none of it, right? So this particular year, 30, and I got so tired of being so fatigued all the time. I didn't have the mobility that I wanted to have. Had a lot of different things going on with me. Like I say, my grandfather had a stroke. I'm a caregiver, so I'm managing 2 households. I'm a mom, I'm a business owner. There's a lot of different things that were kind of coming up. And I said, no. I told myself that particular day, on the day before the 4th of July, a couple days before, I said, no, this is not it. I said, no, you're not going to sit here and subscribe to this being the norm. Exactly. You choose right now what you want your body to do. You choose. And it was a hard conversation I had to have myself sitting at my kitchen table. And so I'm not doing it anymore. If you know that you're not going to have this, and this is causing inflammation, this is doing this type of thing, consuming this kind of information is making you feel bogged down mentally and spiritually, yes, you have to stop. You have to be accountable for that and how you want to feel. So I'm here to say, only 32 days in or so, I'm different. And I think drastically different just in 32 days. So, yeah. Melody, you in saying that we are big architects in our health and healing ourselves is yes. something I know to be true, and something I have to subscribe to for very many years. And like I said, it's more than just a physical thing. It's never for vanity. It's for me to feel good internally, and also to radiate this energy. It takes a lot to get this kind of energy. This kind of energy, Millie, and I'm just telling you facts. Now, one of the things that you said, I'm going to tell the truth now. Now, one of the things you said is, you said, I believe that when words don't work, the body still speaks. You said it, not me.
Absolutely.
I believe that to be such a powerful truth.
Because it's held in the fascia system of the body. It's held in the muscle memory. Trauma, pain is held in the body.
Absolutely. And when you said that, I was like, dang it, that's actually pretty powerful. When I was reading your stuff, I said, look at Melanie trying to unlock some stuff. I didn't come here to, I just came here to do my interview and get my information about Melanie, but she had a lot of good things in there that really made me reflect about where I am currently with my journey, with my body, with my truth. So I have to thank you for doing that and being transparent enough to tell me many things that you believe, Tell me a moment at a retreat, because I know you do retreats,
I
that
do.
a participant experienced a visible shift, because people want to know what's happening at these retreats. I wanted to give them an insight to what's happening. Tell me about the feel of those retreats, and tell me in times where you can see those critical shifts happening. Sometimes they're on the scene.
Do you want to play a little bit? Do you want to do some of it?
What you talking about on the spot?
Uh-huh.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's see, because we never had no on the spot workshop. What do I have to do now?
So what does red remind you of, the color red?
Me personally, red makes me think anger. Red makes me think rage. Red makes me think critical, because I worked in corporate America. There was a prior one critical task.
Right.
It's on fire, emergency.
Right. And so the positive color is freedom, independence, power. That's the positive color of red. So the movement of red is a sound called E, and the movement of it is a 1 this way. So I won't do it to the camera, but I'll do it this way, and you can participate with me. To get your anger out of your body, to get the trauma out of your body, you have to do sound and movement. Okay. And we're doing Pilates too in the workbook at the same time, to recalibrate, to attune to a higher, right? So you have to find peace within. And if you're never in peace, then you have to move. And whatever you're angry about, so the rage of being erased, I was completely erased. I was marginalized. I was told I was never a good business owner, even though I had been doing it for 20 years. I was never allowed to look at our expenses. I wasn't smart enough. I didn't have a degree in psychology. I was completely erased. And so you can imagine the rage and the anger that I've had. Mm. So here we go. I want you to do it with me. I want you to say, E, 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 E.
E, 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 E.
Yeah. Now get it down in your diaphragm and really push it out. E, E, E. With that 1, 1, 1.
E, E, E.
How do you feel?
Look at Melanie just laughing it up.
Isn't it fun though? So we have a lot of hilarity, and guess what breaks trauma? Having a different pattern, having laughter. And when you laugh, right, your enteric nervous system comes alive. It stimulates the vagus nerve. I have a lot of science behind this. I know this stuff works. So let's try fear. Fear of changing, fear of moving. I stayed in a traumatic, abusive relationship for almost 20 years. It almost killed me because of fear. Because of fear. I was locked down. I was fawn, a freeze fawn. I couldn't make a decision. I was like, the person who I thought I was married to, it was not the person who I thought I mean, you're just frozen and you can't make a decision, right? And you're going through COVID. It shut down my studio. What am I going to do if I'm not this person who I thought I was? So fear. Okay. So the color of fear is blue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Blue. And the rhythm of blue is 1, 2, 1, 2. And the positive side of blue is love, forgiveness, kindness. So we got to pull you out of your fear of moving, of grooving, of finding your voice, of finding your freedom, right? So it's a beautiful kind of figure 8 with the hips. So there's a little bit of movement and dance in this. I do have a degree in dance, so I am pulling. I don't like to say dance though, because it kind of freaks people out. But because they're like, how can I dance through therapy? I was like, well, it's going to break open your trauma bond, and we're going to reprogram you with a positive side. So it's a little color therapy. It's a little movement therapy. It's a little Pilates. Okay.
Sure.
So that is 1, 2, and then you can move the hips 1. It's like being at the ocean. and you start to feel peace, and you start.
I mean, but I see the freedom in the movement, like almost like a release, like when it goes up with the one. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. And so the sound of blue is ooh. O, E, O. So you have red and then you have blue. O. So it's O, O. So you can go O, O. You can't be shy. You got to sing it high. You got to have fun. We got to break the bond. And I start to jam. Yeah, I have fun in my workshops. So people journal and they have memories. So my workbook has my story in it. And when you hear my story, I ask you to write down your memories and then put those memories in the category of the color. Is it rage? Is it fear? Is it yellow? Is it self-criticism? Is it analysis paralysis? You can't get out of this marriage, or you can't get out of this situation. You can't break free. Yeah. So yellow is, can I continue with another color? It's kind of fun.
I mean, I like that you're giving the real life expression, the real life. No, seriously, because it's really a thing. Because when we asked you to do that, I mean, I didn't expect for you to go off and give all of the good gems and things that you're doing. Yeah, you never know who this may touch and resonate with. And maybe who may want to subscribe to this form of healing. So I really have learned something in the past couple minutes, and I definitely thank you for sharing with me.
So yellow, from criticism, joy.
Okay.
Inspiration, divinely inspired, right? So, and the rhythm is 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a waltz.
Okay, and that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 does make me think joy, because it's a jot more of a
and the sound is ah. Ah. So you can do the sound ah.
Tell me red again.
E.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
Oh.
Got it.
And you can move 1, 2, 3. You can do a waltz. You can move, and you're moving in from you're breaking the analysis paralysis, the criticalness. We criticize ourselves as women. We criticize our bodies so much. We're not good enough, and we have to stop. We have to stop criticizing our beautiful divine temples, because there's such an amazing experience of healing within them, and all you have to do is tap into it. And these workshops are meant to be fun. They're meant to be expressive. They self-regulating, right? Self-esteem.
So are these like one-day workshop? It's like a retreat, like multi-days. You have like kind of
it's a weekend. It's a weekend.
Okay.
And so the colors are red, blue, yellow, green, orange, purple, violet, indigo, and white light. And white, which is transcendence. It's understanding everything that you had to go through emotionally with all your memories. And you're recalibrating internally through color awareness, from, exploring those emotions and doing the movement. Now, and this is something that you can do for yourself daily. It's an 8-week workbook. It's downloadable on my website, and you get all the tools there, and the pictures and the videos of me, expressing myself. E, O, A, A. And so you can do the movement with the feet and the movement with the arms with the sound as a part of the process of becoming, of breaking the trauma bond. We are trying to break the trauma bond, because what happens is you get addicted. You literally are getting addicted to the trauma bond, because one day we're all back together and we're going to church. we're going to church and we're going to therapy. And the next day it's like, who is this person I live with? The abuse, the verbal abuse, the psychological, the gaslighting. Yeah. And I'm not sure why in our culture today, narcissism is rampant. I don't know why, but it's.
Let me ask you this from this perspective, because, the type of healing you've done, for yourself and to get from 2020 to now, I think is great. Tell me your favorite, I cannot believe this is my life right now moment, because you're living in a different life now. You're not married anymore. You probably have done a lot of work with your trauma. I don't know where you are with your journey, but I know you've done some work with it. Are there ever moments where you just look back and say, I can't believe this is my life right now? And if so, what kind of moments drive you there?
I thank God every day that I'm finally at peace. I think I'm not angry anymore. I've recalibrated. I think being at peace and feeling good about where I am and who I am finally, for me, is just a huge success and victory for me from where I was 2020 to now. And it's taken that long for me to heal, to recalibrate. Really, it's once you read my story, I can't believe I stayed as long as I did. And I think that's where a lot of the shame comes from, which is a green color. But yeah, I'm getting published. People want to hear what I have to say. All these women that I have been teaching Pilates to and certified have empowered themselves through the movement system, have gone on to open studios. I have found my voice. I am rising. I am in such joy. I am vibrating at a higher frequency. It's like I am inspired by God. I am thankful to Christ. And my faith now, has grown tremendously. And none should enter the Father but through me. The Christ consciousness rising on our planet and the healing that is taking place everywhere. Look at all the women that are coming forward. Look at all the women on your show. It's incredible.
It really is. And I definitely feel that I am vibrating to a higher frequency. 2020, I'm like high. I'm way higher than I was even at the time of 2020. But it took a lot of self-work, and it took a lot of accountability, because a lot of times, like even those situations, like one of the things you said, like, why did I stay so long? So sometimes not the actual situation, it's my choice to the situation. So I had to unwrite and be accountable for some of the things, like, why did you stay so long? Why did you say yes? Why didn't you, back out when you could have? So me thinking about that and also making an effort to make more conscious decisions, not ones that fit the norm of someone else's life, not ones that society say you should do, the ones that actually fit what Shanadra's life should write and say. I have definitely felt a shift. I mean, I'm not saying, of course, life isn't easy and everything is, petals and roses. There are lots of different things, but the way in which I react to it, the way in which I operate in it.
Bingo.
Is exactly 100% different, Melanie. And I would never go back to who I was, because at this point, it's only about vibrating higher, getting closer to God, and also understanding that this journey, exactly how He created for me, is the way He created it for me. It will not look like Melanie's journey, and that's okay. It will not look like the ladies down the street, and that's okay. And I am okay with that. And I'm open to the possibility of Him continuing to elevate me and me continue to be closer to Him. And not only that, my life will be a living example of that. And I'm okay.
Inspiring other women. Yes, exactly.
That place. Now, let me ask you this. For someone who may be feeling very disconnected from themselves, I just can't connect with myself, I'm just feeling lost. And we did a little bit of intro into your retreats. Tell me a small, accessible practice, maybe outside of what you shared, that you suggest they start today? Because I'm
Breathing.
disconnected, Melanie. I'm so
Breathing.
disconnected.
Breathing. It's the most we forget that without our breath, how long can you survive without your breath? 1, maybe 2 minutes. So it's the most important function of your body, that your body, your peripheral nervous system, your central, it's so concerned with. So if you'll focus on your breath and you're breathing into your abdominals. So it's actually a Pilates breath, and you inhale for 5, and then you exhale for 5, and you're counting to 5. So it's an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you exhale, you're imagining you're squeezing your abs like a wet rag to squeeze all the air out of the lungs until they're completely empty of air. Completely. This is going to take you out of stress mode, flight and fight, right? And you have to be mindful about how you're breathing. We could do this 5 to 10 times. And I actually taught my kids this when they're stressed. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your laughing muscle, your throw up muscle, and your coughing muscle are all the same muscle, right? And so this is a Pilates technique. This is how we go into your powerhouse. We strengthen your core by getting into the transverse muscle. Your transverse muscle wraps around your middle and to your back. It's a 5 to 6 inch band, looks like a girdle, acts like a girdle. And it's your laughing muscle because it pushes the air out of the lungs. That's what you're focused on. That's the simplest thing that you can do to recalibrate, pull in peace, pull in calm, self-esteem, right, is to breathe, is to simply do a breath technique. I'll be teaching clients tonight. I've never seen them before. I have 4 women coming, and they've never done Pilates before. The first thing I teach them is the breath. Mm-hmm. And when they drive away, I said, you better be driving and practicing your Pilates breath because we are going to learn how to recalibrate. And on the inside, when you get a hold of that girdle, that coughing, if you go, ha, if you just like push the air out, or ha, 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 you pretend laugh, like, ha, 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 ha. Have you ever been with your friends all weekend and you've laughed so hard you have sore muscles in your abs?
Melanie, you laugh so hard all the time that I got some.
That's it. That's it. Did you feel it?
I'm gonna laugh from my soul anytime that I get. I laugh.
That's it. That's the muscle. So that's the core muscle that we're after. So ha 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 ha. Ring out. You're wringing out your gut, and you're focusing on the exhale, and it calms you like that.
Sure.
Like that. And look at the joy. And let me tell you what else it does. Can I tell you? Do we have time?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
Okay. So your transverse muscle wraps around your intestines. So your intestines, your peripheral nervous system is divided into 3 parts. And the gut is called the enteric nervous system. So I got a gut feeling. I got a bad vibe. That guy made me want to throw up. Where are you getting that intuitive hit? Anybody want to take a guess? You're getting it in your gut. So when you pull in your transverse muscle, you're massaging your enteric nervous system. The vagus nerve that starts back here and goes through the face and through the lungs and through the diaphragm and through the transverse muscle, when you start to squeeze the corset of your transverse, you're massaging your enteric nervous system. You release dopamine. You release serotonin. 70% of your dopamine comes from your gut. The brain of the gut is what it's called. One more point, really important. This is where I geek out about the body and the way it's designed because it's so fascinating. It's so empowering. And I love to teach this to women. There are more sensory neurons in the tip of your finger than there are in your intestinal tract, right? So let me reverse that. There are more sensory neurons in your intestinal tract than there are in the tip of your finger. So that means that your gut is very sensitive I got a gut feeling, I got a bad vibe. You're getting it here. So treating the breath as a healing system, a wake up system, a telling the brain I feel okay system, that's what we teach. And we're teaching it in Pilates, but we're also teaching it in this type of therapy. We're doing somatic therapy, which means body. That's another part of your peripheral nervous system that we teach you about how to hook in. So when you start to massage your enteric nervous system, that's your guts, right? You're creating rest and digest. So you've stimulated the parasympathetic nervous system into peace and to rest. And it says, I feel okay. I feel safe. I feel good about myself. Just through breath. Just through breathing, you can do that for yourself every day. That's why I love what I do, because I can take these women today who I know, one of them's partner recently passed away. I'm going to be teaching her this breath technique because she'll probably use it. It'll turn something on and she'll start to feel better about the grief that she's going through, because it gets caught in our body. It gets held in our hips, right? We hold tension, we hold grief, we hold sadness. And you can talk about it all you want and spend a lot of money on therapy, which is great, but also you have to move through the pain. You have to move through feeling inadequate.
That's true.
Yes, you have to move feeling shame.
Yeah.
These things have to be released or they get stuck, right? We get chained into this mind, this thinking, and we have to be able to break out of that. So the breath, to answer your question, breathing, inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5, and then focusing on tightening that corset around your middle and wringing out your abs like a wet rag. Or like when you put on your jeans, like your tightest, skinniest jeans, right? What do? You lie down and you do what? You zip the zipper. That's it. That's how you hook in. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit because you've created a new engram, a new neuromuscular firing pattern in the body, and it becomes a habit. So you can take these deep breaths. Mm-hmm. Before I have to talk to my ex. Before I go and present, before I teach, I use these techniques all the time. Somebody cuts me off in traffic, they deserve an E. Sorry, I'm trying to be fun at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I want to thank you so much for going that deep with us and giving us an educational perspective. Because breathing is definitely something that's accessible. I mean, it's something that you can start right now today. It's something that you can incorporate into your everyday thing. And Melanie say, look, I got to take me a couple, 2, 3, 4 deep breaths before that, for that X come around. I got to have a few breaths in me to even navigate the conversation. Right. Make sure, Melanie, that we have a clean segment where you give us how to contact you, whether that is your social media handles, your website, or anything you want to give for our listeners to connect with you. I want to make sure you provide that now.
You can follow me at the Pilates Cowgirl. That's my Instagram handle. My websites are The Good Space as opposed to a bad space.com, thegoodspace.com. That's my studio in Houston. And I'm there every week teaching as well. And my farm studio is elmwoodplacetx.com, Elmwood Place, Texas. And my new website, thepilatescowgirl.com, is coming up in probably the next couple of weeks, where my 8-week program through sound, color, Pilates, movement, and breath will be available to download. The whole workbook will be there. And then we'll do retreats, more retreats here on it. So that's my spiel.
And she is a Texas girl, so I hope I want to say that again, man. We were a Texas girl sitting on here having a real good time. Now, this is the part of our show, Melanie, where we cue our guests for final thoughts. we asked them to give us some great parting words for this space and really something that captures the essence of melody. Once you give your final thoughts, I'll be back to close the show. So over to you for final thoughts.
I want people and women especially to understand that they can move out of their painful situations that they feel like they're caught in. There is hope, there's understanding, there's mercy, kindness, grace, compassion, understanding on the other side of whatever situation that you're in pain about, that you need to get out of. There is a way to heal.
Powerful words at the end there, Melanie.
Thank you.
No, really, there really is a way to heal. And I'm really hoping that the women that are listening here are open to the possibilities of them being advocates and, really accountable for their healing, because Melanie here is a living witness and testimony of that. I want to thank everyone here at the Her Voice Shines podcast. See miraculous things happen when you let your voice shine. And like they say in church, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'll be back with really no time with another amazing woman here on the Her Voice Shines podcast. But until then, we love you and we're out.